So let's get into waiver wire pitchers. Other names outside of the ones we already mentioned earlier. The first group, more so for shallower league, Scott. Grant Holmes, Jamison Tyone, David Peterson. Actually, I'm going to throw a lot of names your way. Grant Holmes, Tyone, Peterson, Severino, Waka, Verlander. All of those are between 60 and 80% rostered. Are there any names in that group of 6 names that really, really stand out for you?
Stand out as what? They need to be rostered?
Yeah.
Or stand out like I just have something to say about him?
I guess it could be either.
Either. So Grant Holmes, he was really inefficient again. And this is his third start in 4 now with 4 walks. The previous start, he looked like maybe he turned the corner, 67% strikes, but only 55% strikes in this one. And he was teetering on the edge of disaster. I think back-to-back innings, he loaded the bases with less than 2 outs, but managed to just give up the 1 run. Got 7 strikeouts, so he's still doing a decent job of missing bats. 3.22 ERA, 121 WHIP. That looks fine. I'm not saying it's time to drop Grant Holmes, particularly where you can take advantage of his relief pitcher eligibility, but I am starting to get a little nervous about these recurring walk issues for him. Looking at the other names here, he's still the one I'd want to roster most. So this isn't the most inspiring group. Justin Verlander finally had a good start. He had been pretty terrible, but gave up just 2 hits against an Angels lineup that's been performing pretty well. The fastball in particular was effective in this start for Justin Verlander. I'm pretty skeptical still, but I don't know if what is he rostered in now? He's rostered 64%. So he got dropped in a lot of leagues. The head-to-head points league where I had him, I had already dropped him. If you're desperate to pick up another pitcher, you could give him another shot, I guess, on the heels of this start. I think it's probably a waste of time, but you never know. You never know, given Justin Verlander's history, if maybe he figured something out there. Tyone, Severino, Michael Wacha, they feel like streamer types, low ceiling kind of pitchers. David Peterson, because the ground ball rate is so high, I'm always interested when he gets strikeouts like he did against the Cardinals over the weekend, 9 and 5 1/3 innings. It's like, sometimes that slider gets some whiffs, and maybe if he can get that strikeout rate up, then we're really onto something here for David Peterson. But that's been pretty inconsistent this year. I think he had 1 other good strikeout performance. Let's see, 5 and 6 innings, 3 and 4 2/3, 9 and 6. So he's gotten 9 twice. Yeah, I think he's still pretty low end, but I do think maybe David Peterson's a little more interesting than Tyone, Severino, and Wacha.
I think so too. And this goes back to late last season as well, where David Peterson over his final 11 starts had a 2.41 ERA and a 1.14 WHIP. I don't really buy it, but I mean, he's done this for, again, it's like, the past 3 full months that he's pitched, last 2 months of last season and the first month of this season, where it's been pretty good production. So I do think that like Grant Holmes and Peterson are probably at the top of this list. I agree with the other names. I think they're mostly streamers. Severino gets the White Sox this week, so obviously that's a really good matchup if you do want to go with him. Waiver wire pitchers part 2, and I think some of these names are definitely more interesting.
This is who I wanted to do. This first name is who I wanted to do for, oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe we're just now getting to him.
I'm sorry, Scott. You could have brought him up if you want.
I overlooked him.
There's a lot going on. But let's talk about Landen Roupp, who had a great start at the Angels, 7 innings, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts. We spoke about Abbott. Liberator had another strong start as well at the Mets, 6 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts, 13 whiffs on 100 pitches. That slider just doing the heavy lifting right now for Liberator, and then Logan Henderson. So again, more interesting options, could have more staying power than the names we just talked about. But Scott, how would you rank Roupp, Abbott, Logan Henderson, and Matthew Liberator?
Yeah, so even though they're less rostered than that previous group, I do think they're more interesting. And Roupp is the guy. Roupp is, to me, the breakout pitcher of the weekend, even more so than Henderson. I would prioritize him on waivers over Henderson or David Festa or Andrew Abbott, any other pitcher you could pick up. Landen Roupp is the guy. He finally brought it all together here in this start against the Angels. 18 whiffs on 96 pitches, got the 9 strikeouts in 7 innings. Just 1 walk in those 7 innings. 12 of the 18 whiffs came on the curveball, which he threw 45% of the time. That curveball, the whiff rate on it rose in this start to 58%. It's his most thrown pitch, and it has a near 60% whiff rate. I don't know that I've ever seen a pitch with a whiff rate that high, much less one thrown almost half the time. It's crazy. This is a otherworldly pitch for Landen Roupp, and if he can just throw enough strikes, I think there's a ton of upside here. I mean, he flashed it prior to this start. It's just, like I said, it finally all came together here, and I'm very excited for the potential. I think Roupp is must add.
All right, yeah, Landen Roupp, 43% rostered. He's home against the Brewers this week, and he is RP eligible for those who play in head-to-head points leagues. Did you rank the group, Scott? I know you mentioned that Landen Roupp is at the top, but how would you rank Roupp, Abbott, Liberatore, and Logan Henderson?
I ignored what you said. Did you tell me to rank him? Okay, so it's Roupp, Henderson, Abbott, Liberatore. Liberatore is worth commenting on here because in his previous start, it was also a good one, but the velocity on all of his pitches was up in that previous start. 1 to 2 miles per hour on everything. It was back to normal in this start. And if he has his normal velocity, I don't know. Nothing looks that different from Liberatore other than the results. So I don't know. I guess he's throwing a changeup more, but we're talking like as part of a deep arsenal, he's throwing it like 11% of the time. I don't know. I don't see a lot here that's changed for Liberatore, and so that makes me skeptical that he's going to be able to sustain this because he was pretty useless in fantasy prior to this year. He is relief pitcher eligible, so I was putting in a very low dollar bid for him in points leagues, just trying to get as many sparps on my roster as I could. But I'm not investing with Liberatore with a lot of confidence where I am investing in him.
All right, this last group, I would imagine mostly deep league streamers here, depending on the matchups, but maybe I'm wrong. Scott, you tell me. Luis L. Ortiz, Tyler Anderson, Jake Irvin, Ben Lively, Chad Patrick, Logan T. Allen, all had good starts this weekend. Do any stand out to you?
I would say the most interesting are Luis Ortiz and Chad Patrick. Chad Patrick finally gave us some length for once. It was the first time we've seen him go 6 innings and only the second time we've seen him go 5 or more. And he got whiffs at a nice rate here. 16 on 94 pitches, 10 came on his cutter, which is kind of his primary pitch. And he had pretty good minor league numbers last year, did Chad Patrick, sort of like Logan Henderson. Not a lot of attention, but the minor league production was such that you kind of wish he got more attention. I think he's just a deep league option for now. I was only putting a bid on him. I got him in a 15-team league, but I'm keeping an eye on you, Chad Patrick. There might be something there. And Luis Ortiz, back-to-back good starts from him. And these are 2 organizations that are great at developing pitching, the Brewers and Guardians. So that's part of the reason why when I see them having good multi-start runs, I start to wonder if there could be something there.
I do just want to mention for Tyler Anderson, he's home against the Pirates this week. So if you are someone looking to stream matchups in a deeper league, I think Tyler Anderson against I would use almost any pitcher against the Pirates right now. Their offense is just so bad. So, I would be okay with Tyler Anderson against them in deeper leagues this week.